Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Miss Manhenna, and I'm your science, social studies, and math teacher. In this quarter in science, we are learning about weather and climate. So I wanted to begin our unit by reading a story called Come On Rain by Karen Hess, and the pictures are by John Muth. And this is a very cute story. It just kind of, for myself, brings back memories of my childhood and even things that I sometimes let my own children do in the rain. So let's read this story to see what I'm talking about. As I read this story though, I want you to think about, how is the girl feeling? What are some things that she may see? I want you to use your senses and things that you see, things that you hear, to think about how she's feeling throughout the story. All right, so let's get started. Come on, rain, I say, squinting into the endless heat. Mama lifts a leafless vine and sighs. 3 weeks and not a drop, she says, sagging over her parched plants. Can you see her parched plants that are sagging? I want you to think about, why are they sagging? Why are they parched? If you said because they've had no rain, you are right. The sound of a heavy truck rumbles past. Uneasy, Mama looks over to me. Is that thunder, Tessie? She asks. Mama hates thunder. I climb up the steps for a better look. It's just a truck, Mama, I say. I am sizzling like a hot potato. I ask Mama, may I put on my bathing suit? Absolutely not, Mama says, frowning under her straw hat. You'll burn all day out in this sun. Sounds kind of like where we live. If we went outside all day in our swimsuits, we would probably have one bad sunburn. Up and down the block, cats pant. Heat wavers off tar patches in the broiling alleyway. I want you to think about what that looks like. The cats pant. They may stick their tongue out. Ms. Grace and Ms. Vera bend, tending beds of drooping loopiness. Not a sign of my friends Liz or Rosemary, not a peep from my pal Jackie Joyce. I stare out over rooftops, past chimneys, into the way off distance, and that's when I see it coming. Clouds rolling in, gray clouds bunched and bulging under a purple sky. A creeper of hope circles round my bones. Come on, rain, I whisper. So I want you to talk about what it sounds like. What does it sound like here? Think about what Tessie described. She talked about the truck that was rumbling, and it made him think about what? Thunder. Okay? And then she talked about how she heard what? She heard, or she saw gray clouds. They were bunching up. They were like bunching into big, almost like boulders. So what do you think that meant? Think maybe it's going to rain? I know she's sure hoping that it will. Quietly, while Mama weeds, I cross the crackling dry path past Ms. Glick's window. Glancing inside as I hurry by, see her glancing inside? Ms. Glick's needle sticks on her phonograph. It's kind of like a record player, playing the same notes over and over in the dim, stuffy cave of her room. So I can hear just a crackling sound and the repeat words. So what do you think the little girl in the story is feeling in these first few pages? Think about what it feels like on that hot day. Think about the sounds that she heard. She heard the rumbling truck that they thought was thunder. Okay? Think about things that she saw, the gray bunching clouds. Sounds to me like they are very hopeful that they really won't rain. The smell of hot tar and garbage bullies the air as I climb the steps to Jackie Joyce's porch. Jackie Joyce, I breathe, pressing my nose against her screen. Jackie Joyce comes to the door. Her long legs, like two brown string beans, sprout from her shorts. It's going to rain, I whisper. Put on your suit and come straight over. Slick with sweat, I run back home and slip up the steps past Mama. She is nearly senseless in the sizzling heat, kneeling over the hot rump of a melon. Now, I know where we live that there are some times that I am slick with sweat just from being out for just a couple of minutes because it's so hot and so humid down here. In the kitchen, I pour iced tea to the top of a tall glass. I aim a spoonful of sugar into my mouth, then a second into the drink. Got you some tea, Mama, I say, pulling her inside the house. Mama sinks onto a kitchen chair and sweeps off her hat. Sweat trickles down her neck and wets the front of her dress and under her arms. Mama presses the ice-chilled glass against her skin. Aren't you something, Tessie, she says. I nod smartly. Rain's coming, Mama, I say. Mama turns to the window and sniffs. It's about time, she murmurs. I know that I have actually done that with my tea glass before, my glass of water, as I've worked outside and been so hot. I can also picture my grandmother doing the very same thing that Tessie's mother did in this story. Think back to the page before that I read. What did it smell like where Tessie lived? If you remember, in this very first sentence, it said the smell of hot tar and garbage bullies the air. You know, heat a lot of times make things smell worse than what they are. Jackie Joyce in her bathing suit knocks at the door, and I let her in. Jackie Joyce has her, let me start that over. Jackie Joyce has her suit on, Mama, I say. May I wear mine too? I hold my breath, waiting. A breeze blows the thin curtains into the kitchen, then sucks them back against the screen again. I know that sounds like she's a pretty clever child. She had a plan, didn't she, by going over to Jackie Joyce's house to get Jackie Joyce to put her swimsuit on because Mama had already told her no. Is there thunder? Mama asks. No thunder, I say. Is there lightning? Mama asks. No lightning, Jackie Joyce says. You stay where I can find you, Mama says. We will, I say. Go on then, Mama says, lifting the glass to her lips to take a sip. Come on, Rain, I cheer, peeling out of my clothes and into my suit, while Jackie Joyce runs to get Liz and Rosemary. What are the girls wanting to do by getting in their swimsuit? They're wanting to play in the rain. Have you ever played in the rain? I have. I've let my girls play in the rain too, and sometimes you just need to do that. It's fun, isn't it? We meet in the alleyway. All the insects have gone still. Trees sway under a swollen sky. The wind grows bold and bolder. And just like that, rain comes. Do you see those clouds? How would you describe those clouds? Okay, those clouds have gotten thicker, they're darker, and usually darker clouds are a sign of what? Of rain. And did you know that the darker the cloud, the more rain that's inside that cloud? Yeah, we'll learn that later in the Mystery Science. The first drops plop down big, making dust dance all around us. So there's the four girls. You see in the beginnings of the rain. Then a deeper gray descends. Descends means come down. And the air cools and the clouds burst. And suddenly, rain is everywhere. Now, did the clouds really burst? No, that was just an expression that just means that the rain started falling down. Come on, rain, we shout. It streams through our hair and down our backs. It freckles our feet, glazes our toes. We turn in circles, glistening in our rain skin. Our mouths wide, we gulp down rain. Now, I don't think I'd want to drink rain, but that just shows that they are having lots of fun, aren't they? If you've ever played in the rain, you can probably relate. Jackie Joyce chases Rosemary, who chases Liz, who chases me. Wet, slicking our arms and legs, we splash up the block, squealing and whooping in the streaming rain. You can see them playing all in the streets of their town. They're just having a good old time. How do you think they feel now? In the beginning of the story, you probably sensed and picked up that they felt very gloomy. They were kind of sad and depressed because of the hot weather. Like, it's just so boring. They need something to do. But then, by it raining, it was giving them something fun to do by playing in the rain with their friends. But what else was the rain doing for them? Okay, it's helping their plants. It's helping their plants grow. It is helping cool things down. It is also kind of settling the dust, because a lot of times when it gets to where it hadn't rained in a while, it gets very, very dusty. We make such a racket, Ms. Glick rushes out on her porch. Ms. Grace and Miss Vera come next, and then comes Mama. Leaning over their rails, they turn to each other. A smile spreads from porch to porch, and with a wordless nod, first one, and then all. What do you think those mamas are going to do? I don't know. Let's find out. They fling off their shoes, skim off their hose, tossing streamers of stockings over their shoulders. Our bare-legged mamas dance down the steps and join us in the fresh, clean rain, while the music from Ms. Glick's phonograph shimmies and sparkles and streaks like night lightning. How many of you, your parents, have ever gotten out there with you and played in the rain? Jackie Joyce, Liz, Rosemary, and I, we grab the hands of our mamas. We twirl and sway them, thromping through puddles, romping and reeling in the moisty green air. We swing our wet and wild-haired mamas till we are all laughing under trinkets of silver rain. I just love how the author uses such vivid adjectives to kind of describe that rain and that storm and the events. Really good choice of words. I hug Mama hard, and she hugs me back. The rain has made us new. As the clouds move off, I trace the drips on Mama's face. Everywhere, everyone, everything is misty limbs springing back to life. We sure did get a soaking, Mama, I say, and we head home, purely soothed, fresh as dew, turning toward the first sweet rays of the sun. Can you think of a time that you have hoped and wished for rain like Tessie did? Was there a time when you had maybe planted a garden and it was just, you needed all that rain in order for your plants to grow much better? I want you to think about that, because then you would be able to relate to Tessie and her mother and why they were so hopeful that it would rain. Have you ever played or danced in the rain? I want you to think about that as well, and then share that with one of your parents or maybe even a sibling at home. And then my final question before we go is, how did Tess know that the rain was coming? What clues did she have? How did she know to go to her friend's house and tell her that it was about to start raining? Okay, so if you said that the smell of the rain that the mother had, that she sensed, if you said that the wind became stronger and bolder, if you said the color of the clouds became grayer and grayer, you are correct. Those are some signs that we look at when we go outside and we can tell, oh, it's fixing to start raining possibly. So, One of your next lessons will be about weather tools and about meteorologists and how these meteorologists are able to use other things to predict weather, not just by stepping outside and saying, oh, it's going to rain today. What are some more scientific, proven, research-based ways that they are able to figure out if it's going to rain or not, called a forecast and predictions. So tune in to one of our next lessons to learn about that. Thank you for joining me. Always stay curious and always be willing to learn. I will see you next time.